You walk into the courthouse. There are cameras outside, more than usual. Reporters lined up along the steps, lights pointed at the door like they're waiting for something to happen. Someone says your name, not to you, to a camera. You don't stop. You don't look. You just keep walking. Inside, it's worse. The hallway is packed, people pressed against the walls, whispering, craning their necks to see past each other. You can feel it before you even see him. They're not here for you. They're here for your client. You push through the crowd. Eyes follow you the whole way. Some people step aside at the last second. Others don't move at all. You have to brush past them. No one says anything, but you can feel what they're thinking. You step into the courtroom. Every seat is filled, even the back row, even the standing room along the walls. And every single person in that room already thinks your client is guilty. You sit down and open the file. You've read it before, twice, late at night. Once at your desk, once again in bed, staring at the same pages like they might say something different. They don't. The timeline, the evidence, the statements, it's all there. Clean, tight, convincing. The kind of case prosecutors love. No gaps, no loose ends, no doubt, no confusion. He did it. And now, he's your client. You feel it immediately. Not guilt, not fear. Pressure. The kind that sits in your chest and doesn't move. Because now you're carrying two things at once, what you know and what you're allowed to do. You meet him for the first time in a small room. No windows, no clock, just a metal table bolted to the floor and two chairs that scrape when you sit down. The door shuts behind you, louder than it should. He sits across from you, calm, too calm. At first he sticks to the story, the version that's in the reports, the one that almost works if you don't look too closely. Then he relaxes, leans back, starts talking like you're not taking notes. Details slip out. Small things, specific things. The kind of details that don't show up unless you were there. And then he says it. Not directly, not dramatically, just a sentence, casual, like it doesn't matter. But it does. It removes the last bit of doubt. You don't react. You can't. Your face stays the same, your posture doesn't change, but everything just got heavier. Because now you know something no one else in that courtroom knows for sure, the truth. And the truth doesn't change your job, it defines it. Back in the courtroom, you can feel it. The jury watching you, not just listening, watching, like they're trying to figure you out before you even speak. Why you're here, why you're sitting next to him, why you'd take this case at all. You glance toward the gallery, people shaking their heads, leaning into each other, whispering. You've seen the headlines. You've seen your own name next to his. Open and shut, no question. Justice is coming. And somewhere in all of that, you're part of the story now, the lawyer defending him. So what do? Because here's the part most people don't understand. You can't lie. Not to the court, not to the jury, not for him. You can't put him on the stand and let him tell a story you know isn't true. You can't fix this with a clever argument. That's the line, and it doesn't move. So if you can't lie, what can you do? Everything else. You test the case. You slow everything down and look at how it was built, how the evidence was collected, how it was handled. Was the search legal? Was the stop justified? Was the warrant valid? Because if the process is flawed, the evidence doesn't come in. And if the evidence doesn't come in, the case changes. Not because he's innocent, but because the system has rules. And those rules don't disappear just because the case feels obvious. You cross-examine witnesses, not to prove he didn't do it, but to see how solid their story really is. Memory isn't perfect. People fill in gaps without realizing it. Details shift. Confidence grows. Stories harden. You don't create doubt. You expose what's already there. And in a case like this, even a small crack matters. Then comes the hardest part, the conversation no one sees. You sit across from him again. Same room, same table, same sound when the door shuts. And you explain the options: trial or a deal, risk or certainty. Because trial is unpredictable, even now, especially now. All it takes is one moment, one witness, one piece of evidence landing just a little too clean, and everything shifts. He looks at you, really looks at you this time, waiting. Should I take it? You already know what he did, but that doesn't answer the question. Because it's not your decision. It never is. Your job is to guide, not choose, to explain the consequences, not control them. And that's the part people struggle with. Because from the outside, it looks simple. He's guilty, so why defend him? But that's not how this works. This isn't about proving he's a good person. It's about making sure the process is fair, that the government proves its case the right way, that the rules apply even when it's uncomfortable. Because if those rules only mattered when the person was innocent, they wouldn't matter at all. You stand up in court again. The room is quiet now, but you can still feel it. Everyone watching, everyone waiting, everyone convinced they already know how this ends. And maybe they do. But your job isn't to decide the ending. It's to make sure it's reached the right way. If this helped, subscribe to Simple Legal. I try to explain this stuff the way it actually plays out, not the way people assume it does.